Alrighty, here we are on the InfoWars. Germans increasingly fear repercussions for speaking their minds. Survey shows. Alright, well, let's get into it. A growing number of Germans believe that freedom of expression is being curtailed in their country. No, really? Who'da thunk it? I mean, Germany's only going the way of the UK, but anyway. In a recent survey, 84% of respondents stated they think people hold back their opinions out of fear of negative consequences. Yeah, can't you get fined for saying the wrong thing? Can't you have your electronics seized for posting the wrong thing? So yeah, why wouldn't they hold back their opinions out of fear? The findings point to widespread concerns about the health of democratic discourse in Germany. It doesn't exist because don't they have hate speech laws? And who determines what's hate speech? The government. Here's a thought. What if one of the reasons why the government let in all these immigrants and third worlders, they knew that people would speak out against them, and then they could just say, oh, well, you're a racy or you're a Islamophobe. We better bring in laws so you don't offend those people. Because we can't hurt their feelings, so now we gotta curtail your freedom of speech. Even among supporters of traditional liberal parties, the sentiment is strong. While 92% of the Alternative for Deutschland (AfD) voters share this belief, so do 77% of Green Party supporters. Good, they have something in common. Maybe that'll help chip away at the brainwashing those leftoid Soviets have. But then again, Green Party supporters, they're kind of part of the climate cult. So I have my doubts about, chipping away at their brainwashing. But anyway, beyond perceptions of societal pressure, more than half of those surveyed, 54%, reported having personally experienced situations in which they felt unable to speak freely. This figure marks a 6-point increase compared to the same survey conducted 8 months ago. So wow, under a year, people have noted a lot of change. Well, at least they're noticing. So that's a start. It is the voters of the right-wing AfD party that are under threat of being banned by the mainstream political forces who feel the most censored, 76%. Well, yeah, the AfD is against all this immigration. This immigration is cheap labor and replacement labor with division thrown in. So yeah, the government hates them because their corporate masters want the cheap labor, the replacement labor because Western women are lazy, and the division. Oh, sorry, diversity. But you know another word for division? Divide. Or divide and conquer. And conquering is a form of control. So they're not conquering, but they're controlling. Many supporters of the left-wing nationalist BSW, 69%, and the far-left Die Linke, 65%, also feel the same way. Wow, left-wing nationalists. I didn't know that could be a thing. Because don't leftists view nationalist or nationalism as Yahtzeism? Huh, interesting. Voters of the Social Democrats, 42%, and the Greens, 41%, feel less restricted. Center-right CDU, CSU, 47% yes to 47% no. Not and Liberal FDP, 45% yes to 44% no. Voters are almost evenly divided on the issue. God damn, so all those are parties? Germany has more parties than Canada. People say that's a good thing, having all these diverse parties. But again, diverse, divide, control. Well, that's how I look at it anyway. The survey results are not just theoretical. Recent high-profile incidents in Germany have raised alarms about the boundaries of free expression in practice. On paper, you have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, but in practice, you're limited. So Germany's kind of like the UK. The only difference is Germany has a checkered past when it comes to freedom of expression and freedom of speech, whereas Britain supposedly had freedom of speech, freedom of expression for a very long time. Yeah, had. One such case involved Stefan Nyhoff, a pensioner whose home was raided by police after he retweeted a meme that branded then Economy Minister Robert Habeck a professional maroon. So, yeah, you can't speak ill of the government. That's how you know you don't have freedom of speech. And cases like that reinforce my opinion that one of the reasons the governments of the West bring in all these third worlders, use them as a Trojan horse of sorts to curtail freedom of speech so that the government can control what you can and can't say, i.e., hate speech. Well, anywho, I think that's it for my thoughts on this article. Take care out there in clown world.